So today is October 17th. Most likely I will not be uploading this video on that day, but today's a big day for Canada. I'm not gonna say why, because it's not appropriate in most countries all over the world, and I know YouTube is seen all over the world. But if you want to know why today is a big, important day in Canada, a certain law has passed. I'm still not going to say what it is, but look it up on the internet. Google it if you're a little bit curious. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Jennie here. Today is gonna be one of those days where I just want to talk to you guys. So it's gonna be an informal video, and I want to talk about all of the stories I have heard as a hairstylist over the 10+ years I have been working behind the chair. So give me a thumbs up if you like these stories and if you want me to continue more stories, because I got a lot of stories, a lot. But there are 3 specific stories over my whole career that stick out. Check it out if you want to know what they are. First, before I get into the storytelling, I want to make it known here. I have heard a ton of stories over the plethora of years I have been hairstyling. So not a lot of stories get to me. And these stories actually do. So the first story, and I'll never forget this one. Well, of course, I'll never forget any of these stories because I'm telling you guys. First, I want to say, by the way, none of these people are my customers right now. So yeah, I feel like I could talk about it. Anyways, the first story is that I must have been like the 5th year hairdressing. Anyways, I meet this lady, and you know, just to break ice, I ask her what she does for a living. And she tells me that she is the person who takes eyeballs out of dead bodies and uses it for like science or transplants. I don't know if you can transplant eyeballs, but anyways, she's that person. After a body is dead, she takes the eyeballs out, right? Right. So I was joking around with her, and I was like, oh, do you have to like take the eyeball and separate it from the optic nerve? And I was joking. And her eyes wide open, because I guess she's used to people like giving her a really gross look when people tell her, or when she tells people what she does for a living. But it's like I opened up a can of worms, and she had this huge smile on her face, and her eyes went wide-eyed. And she's like, well, actually, Jennie, yes, I do. You know, it's not very hard. It's only 5 snips. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and 1 in the back. And I was like, okay. The second story I have to share with you guys is a story that I first was told when I was in hair school. So, this lady sits in my chair, and she is an OB. So for those of you who don't know what an OB is, they are those people that catch the babies. They're the doctors that catch the babies when a woman delivers. Like, that is an OB. She was one of them. So I was talking to her, and I was just joking around. Like if you've never been in my chair, I always joke around in my chair. That's who I am. I like to make people feel comfortable, and that's how I feel I break the ice. So I asked her, and I said, do you have any stories like that stick out? Or have you, really, do you have any stories where you delivered a baby that was a different skin color from the parents? Because you must come across that. And at that time, Maury Povich was like the show to watch in hair school. So everyone talked about how like you weren't the father, or and all this other stuff. So I asked that question thinking she would say no, she hasn't. But of course, this is real life, and she told me she has. So she told me that she went to deliver a baby, and the parents were of lighter skin, blue eyes, and blonde hair. And she told me that she also did a lot of their genetics because there were complications with the pregnancy. Anyway, she found out that through mom's genetics and dad's genetics, everyone was blonde hair, blue-eyed, light skin. So she expected this baby to come out blue-eyed, blonde hair, light skin. Well, the mother delivers the baby, and you know, like children, if you've ever seen deliveries, kids, most babies look like cottage cheese. They have this white film on them. You know, they don't have any oxygen running through their blood yet, so they all come out the same like green zombie looking color until they can start to breathe. So she said she delivered the baby, she gave the baby to the nurse while she, you know, OB was doing her own thing, and she can hear the baby start crying. Now, to a doctor, that's a good thing, because that means that the baby is getting oxygen in their body and their lungs are working, and now the baby is starting to develop color. When she sees from the corner of her eye that the nurse is wiping the baby off, and she sees that the baby is going darker, she doesn't think anything of it. The OB is still doing the thing with her mom. She looks at the baby. Now the baby is full out, like, the baby now has its color. And she sees that this baby is of like really dark complexion. She said, and I quote, she said, "Jennie, this baby was darker than your skin color." Okay? The baby came out with a full head of black curly hair, and she said that these two parents had blonde straight hair, and the baby's eyes, from what she can see, they were brown. She's like, "Jennie, this kid was clearly a half-breed." So comes the time when the nurse has to give the baby to the parents, and the nurse says, "Congratulations, you have a girl." And apparently the look on the mother's face when she saw the baby was priceless. She said that she saw the mother's face, jaw dropped, and she had this look of guilt on her face when she first saw the baby. And then she said she looked at the father's face, and then the father looked really confused. So you figure out that story on that one. Okay, and the third and final story I have to tell you. I don't think I was a hairstylist at this time. I was actually a makeup artist. So I was on set and I was doing this young lady's makeup, and I asked her what she does. You know what? I feel like a lot of the stories that I remember have something to do with what they do for a living. Anyways, I asked her what she does, and she told me that she's an assistant to the person who gets called when there's a dead body. So she assists that person because she wants to be that person eventually, but you have to put in like a certain amount of apprenticeship hours, I assume. So she then says, this is like, I'm an assistant. She then tells me that she was tired being on set because she was up late last night. She had received a phone call from the police saying that there's been a death, more like a suicide. Someone had put a gun to their head. Not the best story, but she said someone had put a gun to their head, and she got called and she had to meet her boss there. So while her boss was, you know, trying to figure out what happened and investigating with the police and the paramedics or whoever was on the scene, she, at 4 in the morning, had to pick all the brain matter off the wall. Yeah. So apparently this profession, whatever it is, you have to get every single piece of the body out for analysis if the body does not die naturally or if the cause is not known. Yeah. So those are the top 3 stories that stick out to me being a hairstylist or a makeup artist. Give me a thumbs up again if you like stories like this, because I've got a million more stories. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it right here. So thank you so very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all down below, or you can catch me on all my social media, which is Facebook and Instagram. That's right here. That's Kiss Jennie. That's spelled kiss.jennie, Jennie with an IE. Or you can click right here, which is my face, to subscribe. Click right here to watch my last video. Thank you so very much for watching. I upload videos every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.